FOJ 46. What's up, Jason?
Jeff, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Kind of a short week, but I'm good.
Yeah. So recording a little bit earlier in the week than we normally do, Thursday night, rather than our normal Sunday night. But that's mostly because I'm traveling so much. So I'm coming to you live somewhere between Fort Myers and Naples, Florida, after having been in Chicago earlier today.
Nice. Well, I am, as always, coming to you live from my basement. So, yes.
Don't you worry, though. I got my Portillo's last night. So I got a Portillo's fix at the hotel downtown Chicago, a little DoorDash action. And then, it was wheels up at 5:30 a.m. this morning out of the boat here.
Let me guess. 2 hot dogs, onion only.
You got
it. Cheese fries.
Yep.
And
not an animal.
A Coke Zero.
Coke Zero.
And a piece of chocolate cake.
You know me so well.
Outstanding.
Yeah. It's been a while since I had that. I think probably the last time I was here, which was back in like maybe was that June or July or whatever it was? I don't remember.
Something like that. Yeah. How was it?
Yeah. It was fine. It's typical Portillo's. It's pretty consistent. It's the nice thing about it is you know what you're going to get. And for whatever reason, nobody makes a hot dog like Portillo's. We've talked about this several times, but North Carolina hot dogs are shit.
Well, at least you didn't have a Buffalo Wild Wings experience. We have no B-dubs experience to discuss this week.
No, it's hard to make an error when you don't even give them an at bat. How about that?
That's true. But what I'll tell you is our discussion, you're going to love this. Our discussion of chips and queso inspired one of my coworkers to actually go to Chili's and have chips and queso.
Good for him. Who is this? Who we can nominate as a listener of the week, and let me make sure
this is my soundtracks. This is my guy Angelo, who not only signed off on the queso, but his young daughter, who I think is maybe 3. I am not sure on that, but his daughter also loved the queso. So
it's good queso, man. I mean,
2 endorsements.
It's good. Well, I don't have my sound effects because I'm not at home with my mixer, but let's just fake it. Yeah, there you go. So, yes. Listener of the week, congratulations. And enjoy that fine queso. You earned it.
Yes. Him and his wife and his daughter went out to probably the Shorewood location, seeing as how the Plainfield location of Chili's doesn't exist anymore. So, yeah.
So do you prefer a cheesier queso or a meatier queso? Even though the name is queso, which obviously means cheese.
I'm a meat guy. I like meat. I like protein. Yes. So I'm good with a meaty queso. And what Chili's has is like the perfect blend of meat, melted cheese, a little spice, but not much. And what also helps is their chips. It's something about their chips because they're thinner. It's just like the perfect mix. And then what also helps is Chili's has really good salsa too. So you can go back and forth between the chips and the salsa and the chips and queso. And it's a great experience all around, I think.
So I think the salsa is very basic. I don't think it's that good. It tastes very store-bought and generic, if that makes sense. It's very watery. It is not thick at all.
It is watery. It is tomatoey, if you will. Mm-hmm. There's not a whole lot of other things that are added to it, but I think for me, I'm more of a basic salsa guy. I hear you. It's like, what is it? Ortega you buy in the store and all that stuff.
Jason, you basic bitch.
Yeah, right. I know. But I remember from prepping it, they used to give us a salsa base, and then you basically blended to actual tomato, cut up, tomatoes and blended those in, and that's how it was prepared. So pretty easy to make. They don't make it on site as far as the salsa base itself. No, they have the base, at least now. Granted, it's been 20 years since I worked at Chili's, so it's been a long time. But when I last worked there, they still had the base, and they would just cut up fresh tomatoes and add it to it. So,
okay,
yeah, pretty simple.
When I made it at Fox and Hound in Aurora, by Fox Valley Mall, where I used to work, we dumped everything in there and made it from scratch.
Okay,
it's like one of those 5-gallon painter's buckets full of salsa.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
With a jackhammer of a drill, blender thing that you're working the entire thing. I mean, this thing is just a beast. I just find Chili's salsa to be not that special. Super watery. I like more of a thicker salsa, more of a pico de gallo, something like that. It doesn't need to be spicy.
I love pico.
But tomato, onions, garlic, some cilantro, maybe just a little bit of jalapeno, not a lot. But yeah.
Hint of lemon juice, add a hint of lemon juice and a little bit of salt and pepper to that. And pico. Yeah. Pico is a great.
I want it to be thicker though. I want to be able to scoop it onto a chip rather than dip a chip and it had to come out like it was in water.
I gotcha. That's fair.
Now that being said, I'll still eat it. I'm not stupid. I'll eat it regardless.
That's fair. Well, yeah. Shout out to Angelo, man. He actually texted me. He's like, the podcast inspired me. So that's pretty cool.
Well, we are an inspiring podcast, and we are, as dare I say it, trendsetters in culinary arts and associated tomfoolery.
Well, we're more than sports. Let's put it that way. So
we are, even though we are going to talk sports, because I was texting you through the Bears game, and we know what we said going into the Bears game. The Bears had not yet played. We both had chalked this up as a win. And no, the Bears let me down again. After that first drive, I was so disappointed in the way the rest of the game went out. To me, it was same old Bears.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I've got a lot of notes
same old
here
Caleb. Let's get through it all because there's so much to cover.
And that's part of it. So, okay, here's where I want to start. I'm going to start with the non-Caleb issues because there were plenty. Mm-hmm. I had this debate with another guy that I work with, a good friend of mine, who basically put the entire game on the quarterback. Or he was having a heart attack during this game and afterwards. I mean, he's ready for, Bagent he thinks the Bears are going to go 0-5, Bagent starting by week 6. And it's like, bro,
I don't know if I'm ready to go that far.
I'm not ready to go that extreme. However, I understand the frustration. I get it. You saw a lot of what you saw last year. My first question to you is, what you saw Monday night, does that make an argument that Caleb and maybe the first string offense, because there were issues beyond Caleb, the first string, they should have played more in the preseason. Do you think there's an argument for that?
Absolutely. New coach, entirely new offensive line. Caleb struggled last year. And I said this going in. I knew week 1 was going to be sloppy football because a lot of and it's not just the Bears. Everybody keeps their starters out, right? They don't really play that much. Now there's only 3 preseason games. So, really at most, it might be getting 1 quarter of action in the preseason because you need that other time to evaluate the rest of your team. Who your starters are going to be for the most part.
Right.
But yes, they should have absolutely been playing. And I think that's why I'm so disappointed, is because it is absolutely an unforced error. They've had months to game plan for this game and to come out strong. And outside of the first drive, they didn't do shit.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I think you looked it up. You said he played 43 snaps. So basically the first string offense played roughly 43 snaps as a group in the preseason. And that's not even that might be a half of football. I think we determined maybe a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, for the Bears, that might be an entire game of offensive snaps, but
yeah,
both teams are going to get somewhere between 70 and 80 snaps on offense around there.
Yeah, but the problem is that I'm hearing it on sports radio. The excuses of some of the so-called experts were like, well, it's the first game. They're still ironing out the kinks. He's still learning the offense. I'm like, you can't get this game back. It's the regular season. Right. And especially, it's a division game. It's not like we're playing, somebody in the AFC. We're not playing the Raiders yet. We're not playing the Browns. This is the Vikings at home on national television. Yeah. And we just went out and without, getting too graphic, I mean, they shit the bed, man. They really did. I mean, 12.
Yeah, they're 12. Game counted.
Yeah. 12 penalties. Let's start there. 12 penalties for 127 yards, including 4 false starts in the first half. False starts for me, that's coaching. That's coaching. Why are guys false starting? Why?
Definitely, I think there's coaching there. So I read today that there were issues with the cadence before the snap was throwing people off. Now, again, this is another negative piece on Caleb Williams, which, look, I don't know. I wasn't in the huddle. I wasn't on the field. Couldn't hear it. But that is a lot of penalties, too many, obviously. It's coaching, but it's also execution.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I mean, there was there were obviously in those penalties, there were 2 that were, I like to call them phantom penalties that really, really hurt them.
Yeah, there was a lot of, I don't know if do you go on Reddit at all during the games? Because there's usually like,
I don't.
There's usually like a game mega thread, and oh my gosh, the refs at the end of the game were getting torched for a couple of calls, which rightfully so. Yeah. We're really bad, but don't be in a position to let the refs decide the game.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there was a hold on Darnell Wright where the defender basically fell down or was pancaked by Darnell Wright legally, and they called it a hold. And if I remember right, it was on like a 3rd down, cost them another 10 yards, backed them up, and they wound up punting. And then there was a bad pass interference call where the Vikings receiver, I don't remember who it was, fell down in the middle of a route. We get called for pass interference. That I remember that was on 3rd down. If that's not called, they're punting. And I believe they went on to score on that drive. So that really cost them. You're right. You can't let the game get to that point to be determined by one play, but that was a big one.
Yeah. Refs are going to ref. Not the first time that they're going to make mistakes. And it's just, where were the Chicago Bears between the first drive and the last drive? Like they were nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
It was Caleb overthrowing players. It was shitty. I texted you this in the game. I hate the bubble screen, the wide receiver bubble screen. It is such a shit play. And it's just such a waste of a down.
I think I hate it because the Bears never seem to have the right guys to execute it. Maybe that's the problem. Yeah. Because I've seen other teams do it and be successful with it sometimes, but it's like the Bears just, they've struggled with that play for years, no matter who the coaches are, who the quarterback is, who the receivers are. It just doesn't seem to matter that the pass goes out there and the guy gets blown up immediately. Like Luther Burden, his only catch of the game was a bubble screen for a 3-yard loss.
Yeah. So way to put your player, your rookie player who's just supposed to be great in open space.
Right.
You start him off 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, waiting for a bad pass to come his way, because for whatever reason, Caleb Williams cannot throw a bubble screen. It's in the dirt. It's over the head. It's not in the right position. Like, that is such a technique play where you've got to get the ball out fast. You've got to get the ball out on time in the right location for the receiver, so not reaching backwards, right, or trying to scoop it off the ground, or jumping up and exposing their ribs, while you have the other wide receiver on that side trying to block essentially two people at once, and hoping that you get past a free defender, right? Whoever the corner is that's covering that receiver who's the intended, they have a free run at the receiver,
right?
If they're especially if they're playing up, so you can't call it as often anywhere often. I think the Bears try to do it, and it just never makes sense. I just hate the play.
Yeah, that place sucks.
It's like lining up 7 yards back on a 4th and 1 to run the ball.
It's almost like it's like you don't know what else to do. Yeah, it's like we have nothing, so we're going to throw the screen. We have nothing else. So I mean, that place sucks.
Slants, crossing routes. I mean, I just think it's such a waste of the play. I hate it.
So
I want to see it again, but I'm sure we will. I'm sure we'll see it at least once a quarter, because that seems to be the pace.
You'll see it. I'm sure you'll see it all year. So I got a whole list here, but obviously we're on the topic of quarterback play. So let's start at the top with Caleb. So he starts the game out 10 for 10, which was great. However, a lot of the plays were short completions, easy completions, nothing spectacular.
Well, the one down the sideline when he's rolling out. I was going
to say he made that play, and that brings me to a point that fastball he threw on the run to Rome. I mean, that play is elite. There aren't many quarterbacks in this league that can make that play, and that's what frustrates. As awesome as that was, that's what frustrates me about him so much. Is like, God damn it. He could do the spectacular. He makes the spectacular look easy, but my God, he makes the easy look hard.
Yeah, it's almost overthrowing like DJ Moore at the end of the game, going for that corner route. Now, I think DJ flattened it out more than he was probably supposed to, but still, how many passes? He still threw over?
Where did the ball land? It landed out of bounds.
Yeah, it was like
he wasn't going to hit him
5 yards out of bounds past the cone. Yeah.
So I heard today, since the beginning of last year, and this is like another next gen type stat, he has 17 more overthrows of receivers than anybody else in the NFL. 17.
That does not surprise me at all.
No, it doesn't surprise me either.
He hasn't shown any really consistent downfield accuracy. Last year was the same thing. He was throwing balls over people's head. So I don't know. I mean, is that just not his game? I mean, that'd be a really shitty number 1 overall pick if you can't throw the ball 30 or 40 yards downfield with at least some accuracy and let your receiver make a play on it.
Not every play should be on the run. Not every play should be as the result of a fire drill in the backfield.
I disagree. I disagree. And here's why. Because he's better when he's running around for
that's the thing.
Like,
yeah, and maybe
to be consistent, just pretend that he's being chased for his life, and every play is a rollout left or rollout right.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, it's like, okay, do we design the offense around the fact that he likes to roll out and likes to run and likes to scramble and likes to make it look like he's running for his life all the time? The good news is he was only sacked twice, and that's what we asked for. We said, hey, if he could keep it at 2 sacks a game, you live with that. So that's good. That was a good thing.
I'll live with it, but the sacks also came at the worst possible time in the game.
Of course,
when it was close, and it mattered.
It did matter.
These were not inconsequential sacks that took place.
He had the intentional grounding that hurt them. Which is just obviously a stupid play.
I mean, you're falling down, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah, either just go down with the ball. Go down with the ball, or realize that you're throw it out of bounds. Exactly. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many
running around. He's like, throw the ball away. Okay. You either made an amazing completion, right? Defied the odds, or you got away with it. Just throw the ball away.
You could ask Michelle and Jeremy how many times I said, throw it, get rid of it.
Yes, same thing. I was the same thing. Yeah. So, I don't know if it's just I don't know what the problem is with that, but he is not prepared to surrender a play, no matter what.
Look, I have, and maybe to a fault,
Like, you would
and
even
maybe
throw
it's
something into the dirt if it's a shitty bubble screen and he knows
yeah,
it's going to get blown up because he sees it. Because first of all, he throws it too slow. So everybody knows where it's going. Like, he doesn't even
right.
help his receiver by throwing in the dirt to protect them. He still throws it to them, even though he knows there's a defender right up on his guy's ass.
For sure. For sure. So I have defended this draft pick ever since they did it. And I have said, and I stand by it. Yes, I have. And I stand by the fact that if any other team in the NFL had that pick, they would have done the same thing.
Absolutely. He was the consensus number one.
Yes.
And this is why it's so hard to build a team in the NFL.
So I think it's
just
hard.
Don't know the quarterback. How many number ones have flamed out over the years, right? So many.
Oh, God, more than have succeeded, no doubt.
Unless you already had Mahomes or Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, you were taking Caleb Williams. And even then, you might have still taken him and then used him as trade bait.
100%. 100%. So
I have not the draft pick. The problem is the execution by the player.
Well, that's right. So I have a hard time seeing everybody crying about, well, the Bears can't develop a quarterback. The Bears can't do this. Just another quarterback that it's a waste. It's like, well, wait a minute. Is it the Bears or is it Caleb? And right now, I don't think you could say, well, Ben Johnson can't coach. He had a bad game Monday night too, and I'll get to that in a minute. But you can't say after one game that, this is the coach's fault. Right now, it's on Caleb. And I've defended him from day one. But he's got to take some steps. I get it. First game in a new offense. First game of the new head coach. He's had 3 head coaches, 4 coordinators, all that shit. I get that. But this is the NFL, dude. You can't just give away games and let games just get away from you. You only have 17 of them. You only have 6 of them in the division. And now you're 0-1, and you're 0-1 in your division. So, and it's not like it gets easier next week.
Oh, yeah. I think there's plenty of blame to go around here. I think, yes, the Chicago Bears franchise does ruin quarterbacks until they prove that they don't. Trubisky,
that's fair.
Fields, players before that, et cetera. It's been decades since we've had a true franchise quarterback. So I think historically it is the Bears organization, and maybe it's a combination, right? The players themselves have to be good as well. They have to be able to adapt and fit the system, right? Or whatever it may be. So there's obviously a player component there, but that goes back to just how hard it is to hit on your starting quarterback, no matter what number pick they are. So I think when you combine the two, that is a great recipe for really watery salsa that sucks. In this case, it's quarterback development, where if you had one of those problems, eventually you would figure it out. When you have both of those problems, it's really hard to recover.
Well, I think it's fair to say, and I'll say, I think Jay Cutler was a franchise quarterback. And
they traded for a franchise quarterback. They traded a lot for him too. He was great.
And he was very talented. He was not the reason they didn't succeed during his time. I think they had a whole lot of other issues, but they haven't had a franchise winning quarterback since Jim McMahon, honest to God. And, he wasn't that great. Right. He had moments, and he was their leader. Let's be real. He was the leader, but from a talent perspective, he was better than average. I don't think he was an all-time great. Yeah, exactly.
When you're handing it off to Walter Payton behind you, and you've got the Bears defense at that time,
right?
You did not need to throw for 4,000 yards.
He had one spectacular Monday night when he came off the bench off an injury, throwing 3 touchdowns, ironically against the Vikings. But outside of that, he was a game manager. But again, he was the leader. You don't know yet if Caleb's the leader, and I think on a winning team, he's got to be the leader. He's got to be the guy. And
so does he have that personality? Does he have that that leadership quality that people want to follow? You don't really hear about it that much with him. Now, maybe I'm just not listening or watching the right spots, but it doesn't seem to me like he's taking the team and saying, this is my team, follow me, guys, and let's go do this. Now, they might be doing it behind the scenes. It's not vocal about it, but Yeah, I mean, he's not showing the leadership that you see from more experienced quarterbacks, Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, um, Brady, right? All the greats rally their troops around them.
Well, I'll argue you're seeing that out of Jaden Daniels. You're seeing it out of, instances out of Drake May. Bo Nix last year. I know he had a rough week one, but and I'll tell you who's a leader. And I've never really paid much attention, but I did some research. You want to know who's a leader and a winner and a guy that obviously they're going to follow is McCarthy for the Vikings.
After that game, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I didn't know this. Yeah, I didn't know this, but since 8th grade, his football career, he's like 68-3 as a starter of a football team between high school, college, and now the NFL. He lost 2 games as a starter. He lost, I think it was 1 game in high school and 2 games in college, or it's reversed. I don't remember what. That dude has lost 3 games in the past 9 freaking years as a starter of a football team.
Well, it should have been 4, but
yeah, I know.
One quarterback rose in the situation, another one didn't.
Yeah, I mean, McCarthy didn't look all that great for the first 3 quarters.
He looked terrible in the first, really in the first several drives, and then something clicked and he went off. He had a great game, and he, not just the arm, he was working with his legs, and to Justin's credit, he did the same thing. Justin looks fast. He almost hit 21 miles an hour on that first score to the end zone. He had like a 16% chance to score when he took off from the 16-yard line. And I mean, that's great to see. Now, he should have scored the other touchdown, but he didn't dive for the cone and instead just did the little weak hand thing and stepped out of bounds. But I was impressed with the speed of Caleb Williams. I don't remember seeing him quick last year, like straight line speed.
For sure. I just want to see him drop back. Soon as he plants the heel, let it fly. I just drop back and let it go. Don't drop back, look, and then, oh shit, and then go, let's go do what I do best and create. Throw the ball from the pocket, man. At the what
got so many good receivers.
At the top of the drop.
Let him get him in space and let him make the plays. Yeah. I want to see a 15-yard, across the middle, whether it's a slant or some sort of, in or out route. And not only the route and the execution, but for God's sake, put the ball where the receiver wants it, in stride, where he's not like reaching backwards, forwards, up, left, right, and give them a chance to make a play.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm really discouraged by his accuracy. I think that's the biggest thing that he's so inconsistent with the accuracy. He can throw a fastball to Rome running full speed to the sideline on a play that is absolutely broken and he probably should not have thrown. And he hits that in a strike and then he misses the easy ones.
I think that's what everybody's frustrated with. It's like, okay, you do the spectacular great, but you do the routine terribly, and it's like, so hopefully
I want him to be successful because if he's not,
we all do.
Guess what? We're set back another 3-4 years.
Jeff, they've built this entire team around him for him.
Exactly. So if he's not good and if he's not the one, if he's not Neo in the Matrix, we're fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it to the Bears. They have done, I don't want to say a great job because you don't know yet, but they have made every attempt to make this guy successful. They've given him all the tools. Champs. Yeah, right. Exactly. So
I don't think you can blame at all the front office this year for anything. I think it just comes down to players and coaching. Now, I get it. New coach, new system, blah, blah, blah. There's definitely going to be growing pains. I'm not going to write them off yet, but I sure as hell better see some improved offensive play.
So let's talk about the coaching. I don't think Ben overall had a very good game. I think he discovered that being an offensive coordinator and a head coach are 2 very different things.
I wasn't too thrilled with the play calling on the offensive side. I don't know who was calling the offense. Was he doing it or was it the offense coordinator?
I think he does.
I just didn't see the kind of routes that I was expecting that we saw kind of like, in the preseason.
I didn't either.
The one flash of brilliance was the touchdown at the end with the fake,
Yes.
pitch, and then immediate strike to, who was that? Was that Rome?
Rome. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was, and he was wide open. Like, yeah, creative, right? Called perfectly at the right time, perfectly executed. But the rest of the game, like I didn't see anything that made me think, okay, yeah, that was cool, that was innovative. Right. I don't know if that was just because maybe it was supposed to be, and Caleb sailed on, or receiver ran the wrong route, or I'm sure there's a bunch of things, but yeah, I what I saw was a very uninspired offensive play calling.
I agree. And then let's talk about, he went for it on 4th down. I think the Bears were at the 25 roughly. Went for it up 7-3 when he could have taken the game up to 10-3. Went on it on a 4th and 3. Didn't get it. So that's 3 points he gave away right there. He made a challenge on a call that was pretty obvious that he wasn't going to win. I don't know if that's on him or that's on somebody up in the booth who didn't look at it correctly, but that was a wasted timeout that they didn't have that they really could have used at the end of the game. So there was that. Let's talk about the kicker. Jesus Christ, dude. A 50-yard field goal in today's NFL is almost automatic. At least it should be. I know, I've heard that kicking in Chicago is a little bit different. It's a little challenging. But you've been kicking here for 6 years, man. It's not like this is anything new. And then you're asked to kick the ball out of the end zone at the end of the game, and you can't do it. Dude, what the hell? This kicker's a captain. He was named a captain of this team. Who names a kicker on their team a captain? I have no idea, but the Bears have. And
that speaks to a lack of leadership if the kicker's your captain.
I know, exactly.
On both sides of the ball, right? If that's the case. Look, Cairo is not a deep kicker. He never has been. He does not have a strong leg. But you do not have to kick the ball out of the end zone.
You could kick it out of bounds.
Out of bounds anywhere.
Yes.
And that was the big miss. I actually joked about this on stage yesterday in my conference when I was talking.
Nice.
I was talking about incident response and information security and, what happens when things go wrong and blah, blah, blah. And I brought up the Bears in Chicago as a Bears fan, basically saying, what happens when you don't kick the ball out to save, time and your 2-minute warning? Here's what happens, right? Now you've got to figure that out. But you did not have to kick the ball at the end. I mean, the announcers did a great job of. Actually, yes. I was watching the Manning cast. I refuse to watch the main Monday night one because I think it's just trash and whatever.
Sure.
The Mannings were all over this. Like, here's what you need to do. They didn't understand why it was kicked inbounds and the return was allowed to be made.
Yeah,
everybody was like, kick the ball out of bounds, and I don't know if that was is that Ben Johnson not knowing the rule? Is it him not game planning for that? I mean, definitely a weird situation to be in, but you'd think somebody would have turned on Manningcast in one of those booths upstairs and said, hey, you should be thinking about this. They had plenty of time to think about this, and they still made the wrong decision.
Yeah. He said in the post-game press conference that the plan was for the ball to go out of the end zone, and so did the special teams coach this week when he was at his press conference. And I'm thinking, okay, neither one of you realize
who can't reach the end zone anyway.
Who can't do it. You have a kicker who can't do that. So,
right.
Did kicking out of bounds ever enter your mind at all? You have to wonder. So, again, that falls on the head coach. I think that's a Ben Johnson problem. So,
it's a bad time to learn that rule, but I hope they learn from it.
Yeah, I hope so too. I thought the defense played really well for 3 quarters, but in the 4th quarter, they just, finally it caught up to them, and, Vikings made some adjustments, and they were able to kind of pick them apart. And, it's kind of like they tried to bend and not break, but they finally broke. And, you're missing 3 defensive starters, arguably your 3 best defensive players. Yeah, it's tough. So
yeah, I mean, I thought the defense actually was better than they should have been, missing those players. I mean, they held Justin Jefferson to 4 catches for 44 yards. Like,
yeah,
that's great. If you told me that that's what he would have, I'd take that every day of the week.
yeah.
He was their leading receiver.
Yeah, I think McCarthy threw for like 143 yards, which is
13 to 20,
whatever.
143 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception.
Yeah,
like that's a game with those minus the touchdowns, obviously, but that's a stat line and a receiver line that you should win that game. Adam Thielen, as good as he's been in the past, had 0 catches. TJ Hockenson, only 3 catches for 15 yards. They should have won that game. The offense let them down.
Big time. Here's the other thing.
I was surprised with DeAndre Swift, though.
Well, in a good way or in a bad way?
Well, the only way I would be surprised is if he gets something good, because he consistently does a lot of bad things. So that wouldn't surprise me. Okay. I'm surprised that they gave him 17 carries. Now, he only got 53 yards, so it's just shitty average. But they ran the ball 26 times. Now, that includes 6 scrambles by Caleb, or, well, at least, six runs by Caleb, and he had 58 yards. But
okay,
to give DeAndre Swift 17 carries is really interesting from a game planning perspective.
Yeah, okay, so what you just said, so they had Swift for 17 carries, Caleb for 6. That means there were only 3 other carries in the game, which is so unlike Ben Johnson, Mr. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery combo in Detroit, which I understand Roschon Johnson was inactive and your other guy was a 7th round draft pick. But again, you got to find, if the guy's active, you got to use him. You know, if he's going to be, I mean, we know DeAndre Swift can't do anything between the tackles. He's an outside guy. Is this Kyle Manung guy, you're between the tackles, dude. Didn't play a whole lot in the preseason, I think because he was hurt. But if he's active, you got to freaking use him, man. Yeah. I mean, going back to the passing game, let's go through the draft picks, okay? Colston Loveland, your number 11 overall pick, who the big debate was, do they take Colston Loveland or do they take Tyler Warren, who's now on the Colts? They picked the Loveland because they liked his pass catching ability. They targeted him 2 times. Yeah. And he had 2 catches. And one of the catches was pretty spectacular because Caleb threw it behind him and he kind of tipped it to himself and held on. But you only targeted him twice. Luther Burden, that was like, a lot of people thought he was the steal of the draft. Played really well in the preseason. Big, strong receiver. Can contest for catches. All that stuff. You threw 1 freaking bubble screen to him and he lost 3 yards. And that was it again. So he got 1 target. You had a 2nd round draft pick, offensive lineman who did not win the starting tackle job. And not only that, but when they brought in an extra lineman, he was not the guy. They brought in that Theo Benedict, their undrafted free agent, who's from Canada from last year. So Ozzie Trapillo, is he going to be a bust? I'm sorry. 2nd round draft picks start most of the time in the NFL, not for the Bears. And their 3rd 2nd round draft pick, Shamar Turner, wasn't even active. Didn't play. So you've got 4 picks in roughly the top 100 of the draft, and they basically did absolutely nothing. That's disappointing to me.
Yeah, very disappointing. I was disappointed that Cole Kmet didn't have a catch until the very last, and in a game where it wasn't a great catch over the middle to kind of keep it. Again, I'm not a really great thrown ball, but made
it was one-handed. And I know,
yards,
yeah, and Caleb overshot him on a play as well earlier. But yes. That was an outstanding catch. But still, so that means Caleb's stats could have been even worse than they were.
Oh yeah. So we went through their schedule a couple weeks ago. You called them a 10-win team, an up to 10-win team, let's call it. Are they? And they're clearly not that. Oh, I don't think they are. Do you still think they're going to be 10-7?
No, I don't. The funny thing is, I was talking with a buddy of mine before Monday night's game. I said, you know what? They could be as good as, theoretically, they could be as good as 12-5, but they could easily be as bad as 5-12. Mm-hmm. There are so many games that could go either way. And if they're not sharp, they're not crisp, they're not, on task and on target and all that stuff, they're going to lose the close ones. And we went through the schedule that there was a lot of games that could go either way. If they continue to perform like this and they don't progress quickly, those games are all going to go the same way. And unfortunately, they're going to go the way Monday night went.
I'm expecting them to improve. Do they improve fast enough to keep pace with the rest of the division, let alone any other, non-division games they have to play?
I don't know. Green Bay looked awesome week 1, and we're gonna watch them tonight as they just got started. I gotta tell you, I'm liking the white helmets. I don't know if you're into that, but the white helmets on the Packers, I think that's something different. I think that's kind of cool. But
I don't care what the Packers do. I hate everything they do. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's
F them Packers.
White helmets are okay. They look more like the Jets at this point, but
they got the white helmets with the white jerseys on the white pants. Yeah. But anyway, but they looked really good week 1. Jordan Love is one of those guys you never know what you're going to get, although he's completed a couple passes already down the field that Caleb couldn't do.
Already across the 50. Yep.
Yeah. So the Vikings, while they were rather pedestrian for a half, and I think I'll say this, I think the Bears lost that game more than the Vikings won it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Vikings, I think the jury is still out. I mean, McCarthy, he's going to make some mistakes. It's his first year.
He's a rookie.
It's inevitable.
Yeah. He's a second-year rookie. Right. I mean, that's what it is. But the Bears, they need more touchdowns.
Yes.
They need points on the board. Do not leave field goals on the board or on the field, and don't take away points from the team. But if they had scored somewhere between the second and third quarters a touchdown, then imagine how that impacts the rest of the game. Though now you're not in a situation where it's it's a 3-point game at the end. Now you've backed the Vikings into, oh shit, we're down 10 points, 13 points, 17 points. That changes your play calling.
It forces McCarthy to beat you. And what the Vikings did in the fourth quarter, because they had the game close, they let Aaron Jones and what's his name? Mason beat them. Jordan Mason. Mm-hmm. They got the running game going, and the Bears couldn't really stop it.
The Bears had a 94% chance to win the game at the 1 minute and 34 second mark of the third quarter. They were up 17-6. A 94.2% chance to win. And so just chipped away. And we know how it ended up.
It's so funny. Here, I'll
imagine if they had scored some points.
I'll give you a different context on that. So at that juncture in the game, I think he said like a minute something to go in the third quarter. The cash out on my parlay was $303. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, I think we're in good shape. I'm going to hang on to it. And then Jeff, it was like watching something fall over in slow motion. 280, 260, 240, 220. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? I'm like, they're still within a score, but I don't know what to do. So finally at 202, I was like, you know what? I have to cash this out. I don't think they're going to do it or I'm going to lose everything. So I cashed it out, and sure enough, it turned out to be the right decision. But it was just funny. Every time I clicked on it, it was less and less and less. I'm like, oh man,
so
yeah, exactly. So yeah, so that was irritating. The thing is, what is interesting though is them playing the Lions. Week 2, I don't think the Lions were very good in week 1. I know Goff was 31 of 39, but like we said, I think I used the word stale. It was a stale 31 of 39. No excitement whatsoever. I don't think they were that great. So are they going to improve week 1 to week 2? I don't know.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing for the Lions was would they survive the coaching exodus that they experienced, right? They lost
Right.
offense coordinator, defense coordinator, a whole bunch of coaches underneath those guys, followed them to their new cities. And as good as, or at least as good as Dan Campbell has been, and I say good just as like a leader and a coach, that's a lot of management to lose
It's a
and
lot of X's and
building
O's to
this team.
lose. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly. So I don't know. I don't know who they are yet. I think they're a little bit like the Bears right now, where they're trying to figure out what is their team because they have different coaches. So they certainly have talent on the ball, but they certainly didn't. I mean, they lost. So
right. How about that throw by Love right there? Although it's penalty, it's coming back most likely, but
maybe someone's hurt. But I mean, that's a throw. It was on mark. At least gave the receiver a chance. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of the Lions yet. I think it's too soon. Just like I think it's still too soon for the Bears. I mean, this is overreaction Thursday. It's still raw 3 days later.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
The part that disappoints me now is that they had months to prepare for this. Months.
Yeah.
And they put up a shit game on offense. They scored at the 7-minute mark in the first quarter, a touchdown, and didn't score another offensive touchdown until 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah. In garbage time. In basic garbage time. So, yeah. Well, hopefully, I mean, there's obviously extra incentive on both sides for this week. I mean, obviously, I would think Ben wants to beat his old team really bad, and his old team wants to beat Ben really bad. So the game's in Detroit. It's going to be a hostile environment. There's going to be a lot of noise. So we'll see. We'll see. What's your prediction?
I think it's a toss-up.
Yeah.
For me right now, it's kind of hard to pick the Bears until I actually see some consistency on offense.
I agree.
But I don't know where the Lions are right now from a team perspective. So I don't know. I think it's 50-50. I was trying to find the odds on it. I know that, for as low as $229, you can go to the game. But I'm not seeing like what the over-under is for it, at least not on ESPN. So I'll have to look around on other websites.
See, I could probably pull it up here. I think the difference though is the Lions have an experienced quarterback who knows how to play, who knows how to throw, who can hit guys accurately. I mean, Goff has a ton of experience, and he could be the difference.
All right, so I see the odds here. It's 6.5 points in favor of the Lions. So
yeah,
the Bears in 6.5. So basically a touchdown, which seems about right. I think the matchup predictor, according to ESPN Analytics, says 61% is in favor of the Bears. I mean, sorry, in favor of the Lions.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think that's right. So, but you know what? I just want to see improvement. I look, I understand the Bears they're not going to the Super Bowl this year. I would like to see them make the playoffs, but I just want to see improvement, I
just don't want to be sad watching them on offense or defense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same old Bears. It was the same old Bears on Monday night after an off season of championships for the team and getting their coach, theoretically fixing their offensive line. And it was disappointing. And it's not at all what was expected. It was the same old Bears. Oh, guess what? Another bubble screen. Oh, guess what? Another inaccurate pass, from your franchise quarterback. Oh, yeah. Another, 3.5 quarters of zero offense.
Yeah, it's such a mood killer. I mean, they hired Ben Johnson like 9 months. We've been waiting for this night for like almost 9 months, and it's like, oh, here it is. It's a nationally televised game. We got through the weekend. I had this awesome parlay going. I mean, I was jacked up.
And we're coming off Buffalo coming back against the Ravens Sunday night.
Yes.
That was the game of the week.
Yeah. NFL
we
back.
hung up, but we stayed on for, we stopped recording, but we stayed on until the very end of that game talking. And it's like, oh shit, these guys are coming back. And that was the game of the week. Before then, I think it was Jets and Pittsburgh easily.
Yes.
But that Ravens and Bills game was a classic. And then to have that great opening week of football, as I said last time, my favorite sports week of the year, and to come up with that dud, so disappointing. My entire day was ruined.
Yeah, talking
and
about.
Here we are talking about still 3 days later.
I know you can basically put any metaphor to it that you want. I mean, the wind taken out of your sails, just all of it, man. It was just, I liken it to the noise of Pac-Man dying. You know what I mean? It's just so bad. I don't know if you can hear this, but I'm going to play it and see if it comes up and see. That's how it felt. Yep. That is literally how the game felt. A slow death that the Bears had. And I realize it's game 1. And yes, I'm going to go through this emotional roller coaster for another 16 weeks with this team because I love it and I can't get rid of it. And it is what it is. But after a game like that, it just destroys your mood, you know? So I know
with everything going on in the world, I know I was really hoping to have the Bears be a source of joy.
Yeah.
And they still can't be. Like, I'm not going to write them off yet, but it's not the way to start the season, man.
I know. So, okay. Yeah, I guess that's enough of that. I guess, we'll hope for a better result on Sunday and then we can talk about them next week and hopefully we're having a better conversation.
Yeah.
So
you want to go through week 2?
Yeah, let's go through week 2. What do we here, before we do that, I got some fantasy stuff I need to discuss with you. So the rumor is, so I wound up scoring the second most points after the Bears-Packers game. I scored the second most points in our league. So I was very happy.
Whoever gave you that D+ grade can go and take a long walk off a short pier. Pardon my French.
Yeah, pretty much. But this week, I am playing the guy who scored the most points. We're the only 2 1-0 teams that are matched up against each other. So could be interesting. I didn't look at his team. I don't know what he's got going. It really doesn't matter. So I heard today that there's a possibility that Brock Purdy could be out up to 5 weeks.
Yep.
So I obviously had to make the move of putting Justin Fields in the starting lineup. My question to you is, I should probably put Purdy on IR because I have an IR spot. Do I pick up McCarthy? Because he is available.
Who else is available from a quarterback perspective?
That's a great question. Let's see.
And is there anybody that you would actually start over Justin Fields?
Well, let's take a look. I'm going to pull it up right now because God forbid if Fields were to go down and because he runs a lot, that there's always that possibility.
Always a chance.
That's right. So let's see if I can get there. Let's go into the league and then go to players and then go to quarterbacks. Okay. So these are the guys that are available right now. Tua, JJ McCarthy, Daniel Jones, Russell Wilson, Sam Darnold, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Flacco, Cam Ward, Spencer Rattler. Those are the starting quarterbacks in the NFL that are available right now.
I mean,
I could pick up the Niners backup who's Mac Jones. And I really don't think Mac Jones is going to put up Brock Purdy type numbers.
Of that list, I think it's Aaron Rodgers or Daniel Jones.
Okay.
And I think Aaron Rodgers, as much as, I'm well documented as not caring for the individual, but
right.
Statistically, I think he's going to be fine.
All right. I might make that move after this podcast because I can't do it on my phone. I got to put for some reason when you do the app on your phone, and I had the same problem with baseball, you can't put guys on the injured list on your phone. You can only do it on the computer, which is kind of a pain in the ass.
What kind of janky sports league is this?
Yeah.
Was this like Timu fantasy football? Like, what are you doing
No,
here?
this is Yahoo Sports. So Yahoo Sports, you know what? You're the dumbass of the week. Or I'm the dumbass of the week who hasn't figured it out yet. But I'm going to put it on Yahoo to say you're the dumbass of the week.
You blew it.
So there. So yeah. But anyway, okay. So I'm probably gonna pick up Aaron Rodgers. As much as I hate to say it, I still want to win the games. So if I pick up Aaron Rodgers, would you start Rodgers or Fields?
Let's see. Who do the Jets play?
Because the Jets play Buffalo.
So Buffalo's at the Jets, and Seattle is, or no, where are we at? And Seattle's at Pittsburgh.
At Pittsburgh, right?
I think I would start Rodgers.
Start Rodgers, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my next move is I'm going to start Javonte Williams over Tony Pollard. Cowboys, because the Cowboys are playing the Giants this week. Williams got the number one touches, carries, whatever. So I think that's a better start than Pollard, because Pollard didn't do much of anything, to be honest with you. So he got some points, nothing great, but I think I'm gonna make that move. And then I dropped the receiver I had, I don't even remember his name, for the Colts, and I picked up Hollywood Brown, because even if Worthy plays with a separated shoulder, and if he might play with a harness or something like that, I can't imagine he's going to be much of the offense. And Hollywood Brown was targeted a lot by Mahomes, so I think I'm going to switch out Brown for or Worthy for Brown. So what do you think of that?
Yeah, he had 16 targets in that game. Crazy.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna roll with that. So those are my my fantasy issues that I had this week. I got to keep it rolling. I want to go to 2-0 and continue to prove the D+ draft wrong.
That's a noble goal.
Yeah.
This is where you give your players that speech, like, they're not counting us to do anything. Let's show them what's wrong,
Let's Game of Thrones against the world.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
I mean, if you had watched Game of Thrones, I don't want to ruin it for you because you haven't gotten that far enough, but there is a speech by Tyrion where the city is under attack, and the quote is, "Those are brave men knocking on our door. Let's go kill them." And it's a great speech. I mean, it's one of the key moments in the series.
Well, maybe I'll have to find it and pull it up for the team to watch this week. So, but okay, so let's run through the schedule.
All right, so I've got it pulled up here. Let's start with the game in progress. Washington at Green Bay. I don't have the betting lines are off at this point, but from what you've seen, with 7 minutes to go, we're still in the first quarter. Who do you think takes this game?
Yeah, it's pretty early. We've seen, from what I've watched, and I don't know how much you've actually watched of it, we've seen some good Jordan Love and some bad Jordan Love, which is to be expected. I think it's Jaden Reed just went to the locker room and didn't look good. There was
here's a wide open 85 that's running down the field.
Tyler Kraft, yeah, he might actually be a worthy pickup as a tight end. But anyway, this game is in Green Bay. I think the Packers, should win. But I think it's going to be closer than people think.
Yeah,
I think.
I don't know. I think this is a 50-50 for me.
Okay. Let's see. Right now, a live bet right now is Packers at -4.5 on FanDuel. So I do not have. Let the record show I do not have an investment in this game.
You're not financially impaired or motivated.
No. This is totally just watching the game.
Okay.
So,
well, that's a toss-up then. All right, so let's keep going here. Jacksonville at Cincinnati.
Well, the Bengals should roll in that game. However, They should have rolled against Cleveland and barely got out of there with a win. Cleveland went hog wild in yards and for some reason just couldn't put the ball in the end zone. And Burrow did nothing. So is it going to be the same? Is it going to be different? Are we going to see Joe Cool, be Joe Cool? Or, is it going to be, game 2 of frustration? But I think the Bengals win that game.
So right now the line is Cincinnati -3.5.
And it's in Jacksonville?
No, it's in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. So basically they think it's a toss-up.
Yeah. Which is crazy to think if you think Jacksonville and where Cincinnati's been historically.
Yeah, right. Holy crap.
I mean, that's a game that I think everyone thinks like Cincinnati should be doing because they think Cincinnati's good, but are they? I don't know. Not if you're putting that shit up against Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't know either. So,
Jordan Love running people over.
Yeah, gotta love that.
That's not what you want to see from your starting running back or your starting quarterback is delivering hits like that to defensive backs.
No, at least I think he did. At least he didn't do it with his throwing shoulder. At least I don't think he did.
He went back first, which I'm not sure if that's better or not, but yeah. Okay, so New York Football Giants at the Dallas Cowboys.
Division game.
Oh, he did lead with the shoulder.
Oh, he sure did. Wow.
Yeah.
In Dallas. And once again, we've talked about douchey ass Russell Wilson.
Who may not even start. Like, he's not even confirmed as a starter this week.
Yeah.
Brian Dable was non-committal to Russell Wilson, which I think is hilarious.
And I'll say this, as well as Dallas played against Philadelphia, I know Jalen Carter wasn't there, but still, I think the Cowboys played a pretty good game against the Eagles, all things considered. I mean, they basically took AJ Brown out of the game. I don't know if that was more the Eagles taking AJ Brown out of the game, but I thought Dallas played pretty well. So I'm going to take Dallas in that game.
Yes. Dallas and 5.5 points, -5.5. So yeah, I think that's a Dallas one. We already talked about Chicago, Detroit. Right now, Detroit's a 6.5 point favorite. So a touchdown.
Yeah. And I think that's appropriate.
Which I think is fair. I think it's, we'll see how it goes. Let's see. The Los Angeles Rams at the Tennessee Titans.
I would take the Rams on the road because I think they're better, and I think Cam Ward is still working the kinks out. Rookie QB again, didn't do much in week 1. Still has a lot to learn, and I think the Rams with Stafford and Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Yeah, I think they win that game by about 7-10.
Yeah, the line is Rams and 5.5 points. So,
okay.
They think Rams are taking that one, which I agree. I don't think Tennessee's very good. New England at Miami.
Ooh,
boy, Miami just Tua is not it, man. $200 million quarterback, and talk about setting your franchise back.
Yeah, that team is kind of a mess right now. I know I heard maybe there was a potential issue with Tyreek Hill.
There's always a potential issue with Tyreek Hill. That's just normal.
Yeah, but you got Tua.
But yeah, I heard the same thing might get traded. Like, just trade the guy. Who cares?
Their head coach is kind of a head case a little bit. So Mike McDaniel, and they shit the bed against the Colts. And I don't know if that game was, hey, the Colts are surprisingly good or the Dolphins are surprisingly bad. Where's the game?
New England at Miami.
Okay,
I don't think this is a hard one. I think New England.
Yeah, I think the Patriots go into Miami and win. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Miami's the line, but with 1.5 points.
Okay. And we got touchdown the Packers.
Yeah. So let's see. San Francisco at the New Orleans Saints, which is really interesting considering Purdy's out, Kittle's out. My 49ers, who are my second team, just can't catch a break. And they are always getting injured. And they didn't even got a week one. They didn't even got the first quarter, and Kittle was already on.
Yeah, I mean, their injuries are a problem, and this time it's not McCaffrey. It's not McCaffrey. Yep. It's not a running back either. It's Purdy, and you're probably your best pass catcher on the team. But it is the Saints.
And the Saints are bad.
And the Saints are garbage.
Yep.
I'm still gonna say the 49ers somehow figure it out and get it done.
Sounds about right, because the 49ers are favored 3.5 points.
Okay.
So yeah, you would find me hard pressed to bet for New Orleans at all this year, unless they happen to be playing the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. Or the New York Football Giants.
Yeah, that's true. Well, this version of the Football Giants. If Jackson Dart gets in there, maybe that's a different team. Who knows?
I think that's a totally different team. I said it before. Give the team to Jackson Dart, please.
Yeah, I know it doesn't make sense to have Russell in there, but they still have Jameis on that team too. Jameis Winston still there?
I don't know. That's a good question.
We can see.
But I would think, if anything, you put Jackson Dart in to save Brian Daboll's job. Because if you put the rookie in, then okay.
Yeah, Jameis is still there. Jameis is listed as third on the depth chart.
No kidding. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, like I said, you put Dart in there to, I think, save your job. Because now you're in development mode. You're not in, we're trying to win games with Russell Wilson, so.
I think it's just a matter of when, not if, it happens.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
With the way Russell Wilson played that first game, I think he gets one more game to get better, or at least be more competitive. And if it doesn't, I think it's a sooner change than later.
Probably.
All right, Buffalo at the Jets.
I think. I love what Fields did in week one. Obviously, he put up numbers and played well, but I think you saw what happened Sunday night and what Buffalo was able to do against Baltimore late in the game. I mean, I think Buffalo should win that game rather easily.
I'm not picking against Buffalo.
No,
at all in this one. I think Buffalo wins in double digits, actually. So it's Buffalo's favored by 6.5. Okay. Let's see. Seattle at Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I'm going to say kind of a quiet first week.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost against, the Niners, but it was really not a lot going on in that game.
I think Pittsburgh wins at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, as much as I can't stand them, and you can't stand them, and most of the world can't stand them, I mean, Aaron Rodgers obviously could still play. So,
yep. Yeah, I'll pick Pittsburgh. They're favored by 3.5 right now.
Plus, it's the DK Metcalf revenge game.
Yeah. All right, here's the lock of the week. Cleveland at Baltimore.
Stone cold lead pipe lock of the week.
That's right. Put all of your college savings for your kids on this. I think Baltimore absolutely detonates the Cleveland Browns. Right now they're favored by 11.5.
Bet the mortgage, bet the 401k, bet the inheritance on this game. Baltimore.
Mm-hmm. Buy a bunch of scratchers and use all the numbers on Ravens players and quit your job, because it is a lock.
Yes.
Denver at the Indianapolis Colts. That's an interesting matchup. I wonder what version of Daniel Jones shows up.
That is an interesting matchup. Yeah, they won the Dolphins game pretty easily, but was that because the Dolphins are that bad? Or do they maybe have something in Indianapolis? Now, Bo Nix did not have the greatest game week one, even though they won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
Denver's
Yeah,
I
I
still will
can't
go
see
with Denver because I think they've done a much better defense.
Yeah, I can't see the Colts going 2-0. I just can't do it.
So right now, Denver's favored by 1.5. So I think it's another toss-up game.
Okay.
But I like Denver in that one. But I'll be secretly rooting to see how Daniel Jones. I like a good quarterback redemption story.
Sure, 100%. I agree.
All right, Carolina at the Arizona Cardinals. This is the lowest. This is the cheapest ticket in town, $32 to go watch Carolina at Arizona at State Farm Stadium.
Okay, so you got Bryce Young.
I'm surprised you're thinking this hard.
And Kyler Murray. I'm gonna go Arizona. I think Arizona wins this game. Yeah.
So did you see the I won't call it a highlight. It was a clip of Bryce Young watching the stadium scoreboard with the helmet game and like not paying attention to his own huddle.
No, I did not catch that. In. Wow.
Now, that's another one I'd love to see. I'd love to see Bryce be successful. Because again, quarterback, redemption arc. City first year gets benched, comes back, actually plays pretty well second half of last year. But boy, he did not look good in game 1 of this year.
Let me ask you this before we move on. So Carolina, obviously that's your local team.
Yep. They are, but we're kind of also in an Atlanta area too because we're so close.
Okay, so you get a little bit of both. So
yeah,
I know Atlanta's all about the Falcons. I know that because my sister lives there, and I hear about it. It's like between the Falcons. Really, they're all about the Georgia Bulldogs, but as far as pro goes, it's the Falcons. So does Carolina get behind their football team like as much as the Bears fans do or the Packers fans do, or is Carolina football a thing, or is it just kind of they're here, whatever?
They haven't existed long enough to develop that level. Like if you were to say Bears and Packers, no, because they've been around for 80 years, 70 years, for all it's been since the NFL. The Panthers are still an expansion team. They've only been around for 20 years now, 25 years, something like that. And it's still very much a college sports dominated area.
Okay.
So you still have UNC, you've got Duke, ACC, you've got
SEC,
Wake Forest, a whole bunch of stuff going on. I don't think they get a ton of attendance, and their stadium is kind of downtown. Actually, my company's office is like 2 blocks from it.
Okay.
But no, I would say people don't generally go out and say, oh, we got to turn the Panthers game on.
Sure.
I'm sure they're out there, and they're probably closer to Carolina or to Charlotte, which is where they play. But where I live in Asheville, it's UNCA. I mean, we have our own local college team that's actually pretty decent for the division they play in. So, no, I would say.
Interesting.
No.
Because I know what if I remember right, the Panthers made the playoffs their second year. So did Jacksonville, I think. Yeah,
both did. And I think that was the expansion draft helped them out quite a bit. They both kind of hit the ground running and then really fell off after that.
Yeah, they've both just kind of fallen apart. I mean, there aren't many famous Panthers players in the grand scheme of the NFL, so.
Mm-hmm. To give you any sense, let me see. The average attendance for Carolina is 60,000 people, basically.
Okay.
Both, let's see. This doesn't make sense. Oh, it's 2025. Let me go back to last year, 2024. And average attendance overall. No, Carolina was 15th. 68,000 people. So not bad, not terrible. Chicago was one of the lowest, actually, 63,000. I don't know if that's just the size of the stadium.
I think they actually have the smallest stadium in the NFL.
That I think you're right. I think that's why it shows up, because you also got Dallas at number 1 with 82,000 people, and they have just this massive megaplex. So
yeah. Well, we'll talk Bears Stadium here in a minute. That reminded me of something, but okay. Yeah, I was just curious as to what the Panther faithful is like. So
I'm not sure. I have not seen them. I'm sure they exist, but not in any large quantities.
Sure.
Okay, and Arizona was favored by 7.5 against Carolina anyway. So I think that's the easy one. Philadelphia at Kansas City. I think this could be a game of the week.
Oh yeah. That's what the Super Bowl rematch.
Yeah.
Philly at Kansas City. Boy, did the Chiefs go to 0-2?
Very possible. Philadelphia's good.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I'm gonna say. I mean, it's pretty much a toss-up, but I'm gonna take the Eagles on the road.
Yeah, so Eagles are favored by 1.5. Yeah, I don't think Kansas City is as good. I think this is the worst Kansas City team that they've had in a while. But they still have Mahomes and Kelsey and Andy Reid. So we'll see. But yeah, hard to pick against Philadelphia. Kind of the same way I would say I'm not picking against Philadelphia and I'm not picking against Buffalo. And I'm probably not picking against Baltimore at this point, even though they blew up in that first game. I think that was like the immovable object meeting an irresistible force. Something had to give.
Well, right. I mean, we talked about, Buffalo putting 41 points on Baltimore. It's like, hey, Baltimore put 40 points on the Bills. So
and as we're recording, it was very much Baltimore was way in control and like they were running away with the game until the end.
100%.
Okay. So Philadelphia, I'm with you on that. Atlanta at Minnesota.
Boy,
Penix versus McCarthy on Sunday Night Football.
I'm gonna
Atlanta at Minnesota. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm gonna say Atlanta wins that game.
See, I think Minnesota wins. Okay. Minnesota's favored right now by 3.5. I think momentum carries into this game with what they saw from McCarthy.
That's fair.
It's his first home start. So I think Minnesota wins, but I for something around about Atlanta, just I don't know about them.
Well, okay.
I think they've got Bijan Robinson, who's a stud.
I say they have the potential to be great because they've got Bijan, they've got Kyle Pitts, they've got Drake London. I think
Darnell Mooney.
Yeah. And then I think Penix is the real deal. I think when they made the move last year, even though they were fighting for a playoff spot, when they made the move to bench Cousins and put Penix in there, I think that gave him enough experience to be ready for this year. And I think you saw some of it in, the first game against the Bucks. He put up numbers, and I think they have the potential to go win that game. It would not shock me if the Vikings won that game for the exact reason that you said. I think momentum, and they always have, O'Connell's going to coach a good game. He's going to get McCarthy through pretty much anything, barring a huge mistake. And they actually, he made one mistake and they got past it with the Bears with the pick six. So I don't know. I just think something happens to where the Falcons win. A close one.
Okay. I'm not going to fight you on it. I don't care enough.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. 2 Monday night games. The first is Tampa at Houston. And the second
Tampa
is
in that game.
Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like Baker the first few years, but now I'm kind of like, yeah, all right, Baker, get out there and do your thing.
Yeah, I'll admit I'm a Baker guy. I didn't like him that much either, but yeah, I just love the fact that he likes to throw the football and is not afraid. Talk about Caleb being afraid to throw the ball down the field. Baker Mayfield will sling that thing all over the field.
Yeah. It makes me sad that I'm not going to get to see a Jameis Winston, 7 touchdown, 7 interception game because he's third on the depth chart in the Giants. So, maybe he gets traded at some point to some team that, needs that, but
that needs help.
I always like to see that one random quarterback who isn't very good, or at least consistently isn't very good. And then just goes out and just has a crazy stat line.
Yeah. It just goes nuts.
Yep. Okay, so right now Houston's favored by 2.5, but I do like Tampa Bay better in that one as well. Let's see. The Los Angeles Chargers at the Las Vegas Raiders.
Give me the Chargers on the road. I thought they looked really good.
The Chargers
against Kansas City. I thought they played a complete game. I thought Herbert looked great, and hopefully, like we talked about, that he's taken a step. But give me the Chargers on the road, man.
Yeah, I'm with you too. Chargers are favored by 3.5 as well. $227 to go see that game in Las Vegas.
Wow. I'll bet a lot of games in Vegas are expensive.
The most expensive game of the week right now for ticket pricing, Chicago at Detroit, $229.
No kidding.
Is the tickets as low as, yep.
Wow. Okay. Ha! It was another failed bubble screen that we just saw. It's not just the Bears.
It's not just the Bears, but yeah. It's a shit play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Point proven.
So that's the NFL.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So after I said it, I have to give credit. Did you ever listen to Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN radio?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I got the term Stone Cold Lead Pipe Lock, because they did Stone Cold Lead Pipe Locks every Friday. So as a tribute to them, I'm gonna have a Stone Cold Lead Pipe Lock every week we go through the schedule.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, that was always fun. That was back when, football sportscasting was entertaining. It was, you got jacked up or whatever it was. Now it's you got mossed because they don't want to, show hits. So yeah, I'm all about the Stone Cold Lead Pipe Locks. I'm a big fan of the Bennington Show on XM.
Yes.
And I think you listen to it from time to time. So Chris Stanley, who's like one of the producers, he has a series that he does where he does his football picks, and he does videos on Instagram, and they are really well done.
Okay.
Of him going through like the sport lines and stuff like that. I don't know if I've seen one yet this year, if he's still doing or not, but the last couple of years, it like really entertaining videos that are usually spoofs on movies and things like that, where he goes through, the different lines and stuff like that. So that's another one that I've been. I don't know if he's any good or how he picks the right ones. It's more for the entertainment value of watching what he puts together every week.
Yeah, I like the Bennington Show. I should listen to it more because it is very entertaining, and I think that's something that their style is something that we could aspire to. You know what I mean? I like how they run their show. It's comical, but I mean, there's real stuff on there too. But I've always enjoyed the Bennington Show.
Yes, I think he's just a genius. I think it's the best radio program out there. I've been a fan of them for a while.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, that's the NFL. What else we got?
Yeah, an hour and 20 on the NFL. So I want to pay. Look, I have ever since this podcast started, I have tried to justify, maybe even defend, but mostly have shit on my very own Chicago White Sox. They have been bad in the worst way possible. We know they set the record last year for the most losses in the history of Major League Baseball in a season, which was crazy. So I'm about to give them some credit. So they won today, day game. They have won 9 of their last 11. Now, they're still a ton of losses. They're still a long way from being very good. But they are actually a 500 team since the All-Star break, which was back in July, early July. So mid-July all the way through August and early September. So roughly 2 months now, they're playing 500 baseball, which for the Sox is a huge improvement. If they're actually within striking distance of not losing 100 games after they lost 121 games last year. They're playing a ton of young dudes, rookies, guys, cast-offs from other teams that they're just taking a chance on. It's just kind of a wait and see what they have, what they still need to get, all that kind of stuff. Colson Montgomery, shortstop, got called up right around the All-Star break. He's already got like 18 home runs, and I think that's the second most in baseball in that time frame. Most in the American League, if I'm not mistaken. So what I'm trying to say is there's some good things happening with the White Sox. It's going to take some time. It's going to take probably another 2 to 3 years before, if they stay on this pace or whatever, they keep doing the things that they're doing. But it's just finally nice to watch a team that's somewhat exciting to watch, because the past couple of years have just been total horseshit as far as the Sox go. So I had to point it out.
57-90, not good, but sure, less bad I guess is better than nothing.
Yeah, they're 33 games under 500. Last year they finished the season at 80 freaking games under 500. 80. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so 57.
And they're still 7.5 games back from the Twins, who are the second worst team. But
right,
they have already been mathematically eliminated.
They have. Absolutely, they have.
The other team to be mathematically eliminated, the Colorado Rockies, who are even worse, obviously, 40 and 106. Jeez.
Yeah, the Rockies, let's see. Well, as long as they win 2 more games, they will not break the Sox record. And for a while, it looked like they had a really good chance to break the Sox record of both losses, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But yeah, I just shout out to the Sox. Shout out to Will Venable, their manager, on the improvement. They're going to improve by at least 20 wins, which is great. And like I said, it's just nice to see them playing some good baseball. So,
okay, I'll allow it.
There you go. Well, meanwhile, the Cubs, they're limping into the playoffs. They should have won their division. They're not going to win their division. They still have question marks. They still have pitching issues. So we'll see what the playoffs presents for them. But they're probably looking at a first-round matchup with the Padres, and we'll see what happens. So,
yeah, 83-63. It's 5.5 back from the Brewers right now.
Yeah.
And let's see, Phillies are 2.5 back from the Brewers. So your boy, the Dodgers are 1 game worse than the Cubs.
Yeah, Dodgers have had some pitching issues. They have had some injuries. Mookie Betts has not had a Mookie Betts type season, although he's starting to turn it on a little bit here in September. But the Dodgers are one of those teams where it's like, okay, we just got to get there. We just got to get in the playoffs and then see what happens. So
I think that's true for every team, though.
It is. I mean, the goal is, all you got to do is get in. All you got to do is get in, and then anything can happen. And it doesn't really matter what sport you're playing. Just get into the playoffs, and then all bets are off.
Right. That's true for every sport, though, I think.
Yeah.
New season starts.
Yeah, for sure.
What else you got?
For sure. We did see last week, another baseball nugget. We saw Kyle Schwarber, ex-Cub, the one guy that they just let go for free, have a 4 home run game against. I think it was against Atlanta. And ironically, I think the one guy he had a shot at a 5th home run. And the one guy who got him out was, I forget his first name. His last name is Bruhan, and he's a position player. He's an outfielder. And because they were losing so bad that they brought in a position player to pitch, and Bruhan got him to pop up. But Schwarber became the 21st player in the history of the game to have 4 home runs in a game. It's the 4th time that it's happened for the Phillies, which is kind of amazing. But the first time in 50 years. I think Mike Schmidt did it against the Cubs in like the late 70s or something like that. So, but yeah, it was wild. I watched the game. It was awesome. I love Schwarber. As a local guy, I wish the Cubs never got rid of him. I wish the Sox would sign him. I have a feeling the Phillies are going to lock him up at the end of this year because I think he is a free agent, and that'll be that because he's too important to that team. But he's just a great hitter. So it's fun to watch.
Yeah, and I saw Rizzo's retiring as a Cub too. That was making the rounds on school days.
He announced that I think it was yesterday. And yeah, he will retire as a Cub, which is cool. I think he played 14 seasons, had a really nice run here in Chicago. And had a decent run in New York as a Yankee once he got traded. Yep. But no, great story. Cancer survivor as a kid, and really had a nice career and was absolutely loved in this town. So good for him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, World Series, say no more.
No doubt.
You were going to mention something about the Bears in the stadium. I think I know where you're going with it. I think I saw the same headline.
Yeah, so the Bears have announced that Arlington Heights is their destination. There is no more looking at downtown. There's no more looking at on the lake. There's no more Waukegan, Naperville, Aurora, any of the other, 10 suburbs that they listed as a possibility. Arlington Heights is the destination. It's on the property of the old Arlington racetrack. They bought that property years ago. And I think in the back of our minds, we kind of always knew that that's where it was going to be, but they have committed to that. In committing to that, the governor of Illinois came out, I think it was today, and said, okay, that's great. The Bears are looking for a property tax, little property tax help on the property. And the governor said, yeah, okay. But before we even look at that, you need to pay off your $560 million loan that you used to renovate Soldier Field back in 2003, 22 years ago.
Good for Pritzker. That's what he should be doing.
I agree. I don't agree with JB on a lot of stuff, but this one I 100% agree with. The Illinois, mainly obviously Chicago, but the Chicago taxpayer should not have to foot that bill. Right. That is on the Bears, and they need to handle that. So I know they're hoping to break ground on the stadium before the end of the year. I don't think it's going to happen. But they're hoping to have it open by 2029 and host a Super Bowl by as early as 2031. But if Pritzker hangs tough on this, which I think he should, that could delay the project even more.
It's all money. They'll figure it out.
Sure
none of those people are hurting for cash.
No, they're not. But you shouldn't put
good for
that
Pritzker.
on the yeah.
Good. That's what he should be doing.
Yeah, he said he publicly said the state of Illinois is not in the business of building stadiums for sports teams, and I couldn't agree more. You're right.
Yeah.
So
we'll see what happens in the real world, but
yeah. But hey, the stadium is supposed to be awesome. It's supposed to be an enclosed dome where they can host Super Bowls, Final Fours, concerts. It's going to bring all kinds of economy, whatever, shopping, hotels, restaurants, all that shit.
I mean, Schaumburg's right there.
Yeah.
Man, it's a great area. It's a good location, but it's going to really mess up traffic.
Yeah, I guess there's already a metro stop there, so you can take the train from the city to get there and stuff. But
but even just 355 going up north past that.
Yeah.
Up to Wake Cook Road, because I used to make that commute all the time when I worked in Deerfield, and that is a shitty commute in the morning and in the afternoon getting onto that expressway from there. And I can only imagine, a Monday or a Thursday night game and how that's going to be handled. So I'm sure the locals are not going to be happy about that part. We'll see how it goes.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah. Green Bay's starting to run away with this one here. So
it's about to be 14-0. So yeah.
Well, theoretically, apparently kicking extra points is no longer an automatic, which is great. I don't think it should be an automatic.
I agree.
But yeah,
I agree.
10 plays, 92 yards, went right down the field and touchdown.
Yeah. It is cool to see the Bears finally have a real plan. They've been talking about this for the better part of the last 2 years. And it took them 2 years to finally decide where to put the damn thing. So hopefully the project moves along and, they figure out the tax thing and all that kind of thing. So, cause I think
the tax thing blows this up.
I doubt it. I doubt it. I think they figure it out, but I think a Super Bowl in Chicago would be awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I think there's a history there of when new stadiums get built, pretty quickly they get a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think that's part of the deal.
Yeah.
So
now we just need a product that actually fits, that people want to go see and support.
Yeah. Can the Bears be the team that plays in their home Super Bowl? Has that ever happened?
I forgot about. Yeah, it happened recently. Didn't
it? Recently,
didn't
right?
The Chargers or the Rams in SoFi Stadium recently.
You might be right on that. Yes,
I think I'm pretty sure it happened recently. Don't quote me on that. I have one more criticism for Caleb Williams. And then I'm done.
Okay.
What the fuck was with that gray shirt that he was wearing underneath his jersey?
You know why I'm laughing? Because my son said the same thing. He goes, I think his words were, "What is that ratty ass eyewash gray t-shirt that Caleb's wearing?" He goes, "I could go buy that t-shirt at Dick's Sporting Goods right now. What is he wearing? That looks terrible."
Yeah, well, it was not a good look. Like, just the fit didn't seem to make sense. It had longer sleeves and it had like a tail coming out the bottom of it. It just looked weird. But also, he was the only one on the team wearing that color.
Yeah.
And so he stuck out kind of like even more like a sore thumb at that point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I mean, that's where I draw the line. It's like, I don't care, paint your nails, do whatever you want to do. But for God's sake, man, that shirt, what are you doing?
Well, why are you giving here? I'll even take it from a football standpoint. Why are you giving your opponents extra stuff to grab to bring you down?
Onto. Right.
But yeah, I mean, the one game was the socks were all the way down. This game, it's the t-shirt. It's like, what's it going to be next? Is he that focused on trying to be different? I got to do one thing that's different from everybody else for me to stand out. I mean, it's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah, that's my last thing for him is
fair, totally fair criticism, no doubt.
Pick a different color and I don't know, tuck it in or something. I don't know.
Hopefully, and at some point, you get a guy like a Joe Tooney, who's I mean, the guy's a 4-time Super Bowl champ, walks up to him and says, "Look, dude, all the extra shit I get, that's fine, but you got to focus on this football team, and you got to look the part, you got to act the part, you're supposed to be our guy. Now we need you to be our guy." So hopefully, because the extra stuff does get focused on, and that needs to stop. He needs to stop putting that stuff out there, I think. So
yeah, hate to see this. Looks like one of the Redskins players is down with a pretty serious injury.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see him. Looks like he's not having a good time.
No. Well, when you got the whole damn team on the field, something's not good.
I think just on an extra cast in it, maybe broken leg or something.
Just on an extra point. Ugh.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that Von Miller's on the Redskins or the Commanders.
Yep. Yeah. And Debo's there too. We were touching on last week.
Yeah, they got some names on that squad. So yeah. So let's see. Oh, no other Chicago news. I don't how much Bulls basketball do you really pay attention to these days? Probably none, right?
None. I've kind of fallen off of basketball. The only time I really don't pay attention to it. I don't get, because I don't have the live TV except for the NFL season. I rarely watch any NBA at this point.
Okay.
And it's not like I get the Bulls games anyway consistently here without paying extra for it, which I'm not going to do.
Well, one of the big stories surrounding the Bulls this offseason, besides their head coach going into the Basketball Hall of Fame, which I was kind of surprised, but I kind of forgot that Billy Donovan won back-to-back national titles as a college coach at Florida. I forgot about that. So the Bulls signed Josh Giddey to a 4-year, $100 million extension this week. So he's going to make $25 million a year.
That sounds about right. He had a couple of good games.
Yeah. He wanted 30 a year, which I thought was too much.
Well, you know what, Josh? I want 30 as well.
So, join the club. Yeah. Hey, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Right, exactly.
It's kind of like anything in life. But yeah, I mean, towards the end of the year, he was close to a triple-double a game last year. Is he going to be the star of your team? Oh, is he going to be the number one player on a championship team? Hell no. But I think Giddey's good. And I agree with you. I think that's about right. And I think if he's your like number 3, guy, and he's your point guard who leads the team and is able to do everything that he does, I think you're good with it. So I like the signing, actually.
I like to see him on the Bulls. I kind of joke about the $25 million. That's just it seems to me like an average NFL or an NBA contract for a third or fourth player on a team. For whatever reason, those guys make money.
NBA players make serious cash, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They put his leg in a splint. So yeah, it does not look good. So yeah, little nugget on the Bulls. So that's that.
Okay.
Yeah. What else is going on? Anything good?
I don't have a whole lot. I mean, just between travel and I'm now officially, I think, on the road every week through at least October. And I know I already have a trip to DC in November and a trip to Austin or to Dallas in December. So a lot of time in airports coming up. Missed my flight coming into Chicago because of delays in Nashville, because the pilot seat adjuster was broken or something, and the pilot came out and said, "Hey, here's what's going on. I can reach it and it's fine with me, but they're telling me that I can't fly because this cable is broken. That doesn't allow me to adjust my seat." So we got delayed an hour and a half for another plane coming from Atlanta into Asheville to bring the cable to fix that plane. And of course, that caused me to miss my connection. So instead of getting in at a decent time, I got to Chicago like 1 a.m. Downtown, and then had to be in at this conference at 8 a.m. And then this morning again, 5 a.m. to make it to Florida. I fly back Saturday morning from Fort Myers, and then I turn around and fly back to Orlando Sunday night. So I'll be home for just about a little over 24 hours to kind of, reload. And then, 4 or 5 days in Orlando, and just I hate Florida weather so much. It's humid. It's hot.
It's just
before we hit record, like my room, this hotel room I'm in right now, it's gotten warmer since I turned the air conditioner on when I walked in.
Oh man,
and it's like barely keeping up with this. And it's not crazy hot outside. It's just the humidity just sucks. But I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we got. We're gonna get
the weather in Chicago was awesome, by the way.
Yeah, it's one of those September weeks where, it's 80s during the day, and then 50s in the evening, which I absolutely love.
Perfect.
That's like high, like between 77 and 83 is like ideal for me. That's where I operate my best right there. And then in the evenings when it's like, 60, maybe even, 58 or something like that, that's just perfect for me. So we're looking at a nice stretch of, we might get a chance of rain, I think Saturday night, but we're in the middle of a nice stretch of just sunny days and nice evenings. And it's been super nice here for the past week or so. We did have a cooler spell where it actually, I think a couple nights got down into the 40s, but we're just having a little resurgence of summer here. And it is just awesome right now.
Well, enjoy it, because that only lasts like a couple weeks of a year. And then it sucks again. Boy, I moved.
Yeah,
now I spend so much time in other states and other airports.
You get a little of everything.
Yeah.
Last night we spent almost a pick there. We did our weekly music at the park. So I got another one for you.
Oh, okay. We got a band recommendations?
Yes. This band was called Classical Blast. So they were a band that had a singer who played an acoustic guitar, a bass player, a drummer, and then 2 violinists. So no electric guitar at all. Every song they played that had a guitar part was played on a violin.
Interesting.
And they played, and every song they played was like a rock song from either like the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, whatever. But again, with a violin. And they were like, and their little tagline was, we play rock music with a hint of Mozart and Beethoven and Bach. And I think they mentioned, I think it was Chopin. I don't know if you're familiar with those.
Yep.
So a lot of classical infused rock music. And I got to tell you, man, it was phenomenal. It was really good. And what's ironic was the band that we saw the week before, what is it? The Strung Out, was kind of similar, but they had actual guitar and everything. But this was pure violin with a little acoustic and then a bass. And I mean, they played, oh my God, they played Muse, they played Led Zeppelin, they played a whole bunch of stuff that was just really well done. Classical Blast, man, really, really, really good.
I'm looking up online, classicalblast.com. I like the image on their webpage. They've got, it looks like, it's 2 hands. One has like a conductor kind of, stick in their hand. And it's kind of where like you would see like old timey, Bach long sleeves with like the frilly lace coming out of the cuffs.
Sure.
And then the other side, they've got the double horns. The other one. So it's a great visual image there to kind of describe, okay, what the heck are we getting into here? Classic rock with a little Bach.
That's spot on. The highlight of the night for me was they played Nothing Else Matters by Metallica.
Oh, that's a good one.
And female singer she actually reminded me of, I can't remember her name, but the lead singer of the Cranberries. You remember the Cranberries?
Dolores,
yes,
or Reardon.
Yeah, who passed away a few years ago. This girl looked like her, same mannerisms, all that kind of stuff. But Nothing Else Matters on a violin was amazing. So good. The solos were there. They did the guitar solos at the end on the violin. Drummer nailed it. Bass player nailed it. Really, really good. So
that song's almost kind of designed for it. So
that's cool.
Exactly.
So shout out to Classical Blast, man. They were really good.
All right. So you saw them in Bolingbrook at the Bolingbrook Performing Arts Center?
We did, at the Roger Clare Performing Arts Center.
Oh, geez. Roger Clare. He was the mayor when I lived in Bolingbrook.
Yes.
Is he still the mayor? I don't know.
He is not. He is no longer the mayor. He is retired.
I mean, that would have been like 30 years ago. So let's see. They're in North Island Park this Saturday, September 13th. And then Naperville Irish Fest, Saturday, September 20th.
Yeah.
And then the Moonlight Theater in St. Charles, Sunday, September 21st. So
yeah, again, man,
cool. It's cool to discover like these local bands and little twists and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention last week when I was talking about Strung Out, that was their 500th performance, which was pretty neat.
Yeah. All right.
So, yeah, cool stuff.
Talk about getting strung out.
Yeah. So, and this is also kind of interesting. So, do you remember from our Chili's days, do you remember that couple that used to come in all the time and sit at the bar? Their names were Joe and Doreen Morelli. Do you remember that? Remember those names? Joe and Doreen?
No.
You remember Joe and Doreen?
No.
So they used to come in, sit at the bar. I'm sure they paid for like half their beers because me and Jeff Cruz and we can feed them beer after beer after beer. Sorry,
statute
Dave,
of limitations is over. Can't get in trouble for that.
Yeah, sorry, Dave. I did not pull back on that one. But anyway, and he used to buy his pizza every once in a while on Friday night when coming over busy. So, but anyhow, we were talking to a guy last night who happens to know them because Joe was like on the board of Bolingbrook, and he has since retired, but happens to know them. So he actually texted Joe last night, and so we're hoping maybe that they show up next week, and then we're able to see him because I think there's like one last show for the summer next week, and I forget who it is, but we'll see. So that was kind of cool. So we'll see.
Okay. Don't forget, new iPhone comes out tomorrow. Get your order in if you're an iPhone person. They go live at 8 a.m. Eastern, I think it is.
That's interesting because I just finished paying off my last iPhone after.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
What, 3 years?
Yeah.
3 years,
this
36
one,
months.
Significantly better battery life, which I'm looking forward to. I don't think you can ever have enough battery life. This is a 17.
The 17?
This model year is 17, but yeah. I get the new one every year. That's just my upgrade cycle. Is I trade it in right away, maximum value, get the new model.
Gotcha.
So, for as much time as I spend on that device, that's just worth it.
Yeah, I think I have the 13. And it's been great. It's and
Apple does a really good job of supporting their hardware, and their hardware is generally pretty good, and it lasts a while to take care of it.
Yeah, and I'll admit the battery is starting to wear, but like you, I spend a lot of time on it. I am issued a Verizon phone through work, but I still do a majority of my work on my phone because I'm just more comfortable with it. Because it's the one I get from work is an Android. So the only thing I use my Android for is my email because I don't want my work email on my personal phone. So,
why not?
I don't know. I don't want because supposedly if you put your email, and I don't know if Cisco would ever know.
All right, but I'm going to debunk everything that you think is happening.
No, it's not so much. And I'm sure it's not so much that I think that it's happening. It's just Cisco claims that if you put your work email on your personal phone, they basically own your phone and they own anything you can put on it and all that kind of thing. And I just don't want to cross I don't want to cross the streams, if you know what I'm saying. So
I get it.
Talk to me.
That is not true. Well, first of all, it shouldn't be true. A company the size of Cisco should be using a technology called mobile device management, MDM.
Okay.
So most popular one is probably something like Microsoft Intune. It's how you manage the security of your company's data on mobile devices. Mobile device management. So the name MDM. And so the way it works, and the way it should be working, I'm hopeful that Cisco's doing this because they're a big company.
Yeah,
is they have that technology in place, and that's what allows you to get email, calendar, etc. And the way that technology works is it creates almost like a partition, like this little secure enclave just for company data. And that's how they keep it secure. Say, okay, we're going to keep it here in this little portion of your disk, essentially your drive, and that's it. They can't access anything else outside of that, or they shouldn't be able to access anything else outside of that, outside that little secure enclave they create for their data, which basically means usually it's like the Outlook app or something like that, where they can kind of control the experience for it and keep it secure. Can't see anything else outside of that. If they wanted to wipe your device, they can't do anything to wipe your device other than remove just that portion of that drive that is theirs for the data, for the email or the calendar. That's it.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, and the funny thing
if you have
is,
like something like Intune on the phone or something like that, or company portal, like there are apps that are like my company. We use company portal. That is Microsoft Intune. And it's the same thing. I don't want to carry around two phones. So I'm like, yeah, totally manage it. That's fine. Because I know they can't do anything to my device. The worst thing they could do is they could cut me off. Let's say I get fired or let go, or for whatever reason, they cut off my access. they can't wipe my device. All they can do is remove the certificate that says I have access to this portion of data, which is the email that I have on my device. That's it.
Yeah,
they should be doing. That's what every company should be doing.
I have on my personal phone, I have Salesforce, which I use for work. Mm-hmm. I have their ordering platform, which is Cisco Shop. Mm-hmm. I have their delivery app, which helps me track all my deliveries. I have that on my phone. I have my personal phone. I have their payment app, which is High Radius, so I can collect and cash checks for customers, deposit checks. I have that on my personal phone. I have Microsoft Teams on my personal phone. So it's I know it's kind of I'm debunking my own theory here.
I know it seems just interesting. Like that's the line you draw is the actual part that I would find the most useful, like email and calendar. But you're doing everything else except that. You're doing your actual job.
Now, I use my company phone for my computer's hotspot.
Yeah.
I suppose I could use my personal phone as a personal hotspot and do the same thing. Okay. I don't know.
You get a reimbursement for your phone?
For my work phone, they cover it.
They cover that.
They cover my work. They cover the work phone, but for my personal phone, no, I pay for that.
Do you have the option to say, I don't want the work phone, I'll take a reimbursement instead?
No.
Okay. It's I've seen it both ways. I think I get like $40 a month as a reimbursement for my phone.
Gotcha.
Which is like half my cell bill,
No, the only reimbursement of any kind that I get is car allowance of $400 a month. So
yeah. Well, you do so much driving. That's
so much driving. It's basically the gas.
Yeah.
The gas that I spend. So
right.
I just put gas in my car for the second time this week today. So
what's that? No idea.
Yeah, right.
Oh, by the way, we're on week 5 of no problems at all with the Polestar. Not a single issue.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Well,
other than nails in the tire, but I got that
nails
in
the tire, sure.
Yeah.
Maybe they're starting to figure it out. Maybe you were the guinea pig.
Maybe it's too late. If I get the appropriate buyout offer, I'm out.
The other day,
it's a little too late.
I have this little side hobby that I do. We have this like auction house about 15 minutes from here. And so I've been doing a little buying and reselling. These are like Amazon returns that go to this auction place, and you could buy stuff for like $5, $6, depending on what the auctions are. So I'll buy stuff for like $5, $6 and sell it for like 30, that kind of thing, 30, 40, 50, whatever. The same. So I've been starting to do a little bit of that, but anyway, just kind of a hobby, a little side hustle, whatever. So the other day I sold something, and I think it was a baby gate, believe it or not, that I bought for like $2 and I sold it for $20. Anyhow, the guy who came to pick it up at my house, I sell everything through Facebook Market. The guy who came to pick it up pulled up in a hunter green SUV Rivian. And I thought of you. And Jeff, I've told you that I've been in one, but when that thing pulled up, I was just like, man, that thing really is awesome. I mean,
it's a great vehicle.
And as soon as he stepped out of the car, I was like, man. And I'm thinking, you want a Rivian and you want to pay $20 for a freaking baby gate? Just order it on Amazon.
The Rivian is by paying $20 for
yeah, exactly. But I asked him, I go, Rivian, wow. He's like, yeah. He goes, I just got it a couple months ago. And I said, how do you like it? He goes, I absolutely love this car. He goes, it is the best car I have ever owned. I was like,
they're great.
I believe it.
I mean,
I believe it.
Yeah. They're just badass. They're big. You can do anything. It's truly an adventure vehicle. Like it's built for off-roading. Most people don't. They're driving it to Costco and back, but it's just a great vehicle. I got no complaints with ours.
I mean, it looks like a tank, but the thing is, it's awesome.
It's huge. I mean, the tires are massive, which is great.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So
we've got a limestone one. So it's kind of like a grayish,
kind
of green type color. Kind of changes based on the sun, but yeah, it's great.
Every once in a while I see one on the road and I think of you.
Yeah. It's funny. I don't see very many EVs I see a lot of EVs, I should say, in the Asheville area, but it's a lot of the same.
Yeah.
And so when I travel, I see a lot more options that are out there that I don't normally see on the road, kind of in my normal neck of the woods. So like Hummers and Lucids and stuff like that. We have a couple of them around, but I come to Chicago and like, oh yeah, there's like way more EVs around here. I rode in a Fisker in New York City, which is an EV that went under.
Yeah.
And it's like a cab company or something bought like 2,000 of them at like a fire sale. And so they leased them out to like their cabbies to drive. So I got to drive in one to the airport. And this thing was great. It was cool. It was like a unique design. It didn't make it as a company. And so you're kind of left holding the bag. And so this cab company pays another company to maintain the software for them and to like fix the bugs that are in it, which nobody can really kind of afford you. That's an investment for sure. But they bought the cars for like $10,000 and they hope to get 3 years out of it. And they're not paying, they're paying electricity for charging it. It gets like 300 miles of range. And so if you're a cabbie in New York City, like that's perfect. And it has, here's the cool thing, is like it has this panoramic roof right over the driver and the passenger, like the glass, but it's covered in solar cells, which is brilliant. And I would hope I would see more cars like that where it may not be a lot, but a trickle charge is better than nothing. And it's using that space on the roof to get, a little bit of charge for the battery, which is sitting there doing nothing.
I remember when Fisker was, we missed it. Fisker was like working on, I remember I bought stock in Fisker just a little bit. I'm like, oh, this is going to be the next, this and I forget what I think it's actually Lucid. I'm like, oh, these are going to be the next big things. And I eventually started to drop and I sold it and all that kind of thing. Never made any money on it, but I was like, I always wondered what happened to that company. And now I know that they are no more.
They are no more. He's a really smart engineer, really terrible at running a business.
Gotcha.
It's like his second failed like car thing. Like he should be, he's much better designing things and being an engineer than he's a business person.
Gotcha. It's hard to do both.
Yeah. And exactly. There are some absolutely crazy leases on EVs that I'm seeing. Like if you were even at all interested in EV, right now is the time to do it. Because the tax credit runs out at the end of the month, unfortunately. And there are just absolutely ludicrous deals for EVs. Less than $100 a month. And being really nice EVs for a few $100s a month. And yeah, I mean, absolutely crazy. So if you're at all interested, like now is the time.
I'm sure there are others. I'll be honest with you. And I see Teslas everywhere. They are everywhere here.
They're everywhere. They're the most popular
EV.
Yeah, 3s and Ys are the most popular.
Those are the ones. Those are the ones.
But they don't have quite the deals. But like, I think I saw one the other day. I want to say it was like a Volkswagen ID4 or something like that, which is a really good vehicle, a good EV, and it was like $100 a month.
Oh wow!
Like crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. So like this month, I keep seeing the deals pop up, and I know I'm going to miss my window because of stupid, both are taking forever on a buyback. But there's a lot of really, really good deals, and
that's on a lease, right?
Yeah, they're all leases, and you should not be buying an EV right now. You should be leasing it because the technology moves too quickly, and especially if you can stay within the mileage, these are usually like 10 to 12,000 mile leases, but you can customize them. So let's say 100 is 10,000 miles. Okay. So what, you pay 150 and you get like 15,000? That obviously is probably not work for you because you just drive too much, but I wouldn't shy away. Another missed field goal. I wouldn't shy away from a lease because of mileage.
You hit the goalpost.
Yeah. You bounce it right out.
Yeah.
Because you can always tweak that number, with whatever you're paying.
Yeah, I've never leased a car. I've never gone through that process, so I honestly didn't know that it was customizable or all that kind of thing. So that's good to know.
Yeah, I mean, if you like to change cars every few years and you can stay within the mileage allotment, a lot of people say it's a bad investment, but I also don't want to stick with a car for 6-year payment.
Yeah, I think it depends.
7-year car loans because it's so expensive. I would rather just pay for the car that I'm using and then switch out to something else.
Yeah, well, usually at a lease, your monthly payment's less, so it's like, okay,
yes.
If you're willing to always have that payment, but you at a less amount of money, and you're always driving newer cars that tend to, the repairs don't show up until after the lease is over, so you're not paying repairs out the ass. And yeah, I think leases are a good deal for sure. So
yeah, I always stay within warranty. Basically, it's like 2 and 3 year leases, and it's like at that point, time for a new one. And usually there's a lot of like incentive to like win you back, and so you get good deals either coming back in the lease, or like for me, when I traded my Tesla for the Polestar, I got a huge like conquest bonus.
Sure,
like to trade in a Tesla for it. So like, yeah, sign me up.
Well, yeah, because actually, I think car companies want that stuff back because it boosts their used inventory. So
it does, but also shows them taking market share from others. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
no doubt.
Anyway, that's my EV segment for this week. Now is the time. The best deals. Unfortunately, the US will probably see for a very long time is this month until we come back to reason and actually embrace electric vehicles like the rest of the world is, by the way.
Well, you heard it here, kids.
Yep. All right, 2 hours and 5 minutes. It's 9:45 p.m. and in Gatorland down here, and I've got to be in the office at 8 a.m. So,
all right, man,
I'm done with you.
Sounds good. Let's hope we see a better game on Sunday.
No kidding, right? Yeah, we'll figure out where am I at. Yeah, I'm out this Sunday. I should be. I don't know where I am. Actually, we might have to figure out next Sunday as well.
Okay, yeah. Play it by ear, man.
All right, cool, man.
All right.
Go Bears.
Peace.
See ya.
Go Bears.